As we continue the series in the long anticipation for the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, up next is WrestleMania 13. It took place on March 23, 1997 at the Rosemont Horizon, one of the venues used at WrestleMania 2. It was held in front of 18,197 fans with an admissions gate of $837,150 and a $237,000 pay-per-view buy. It was hosted by Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry Lawler on commentary with Todd Pettengill and Doc Hendrix at interviews. Once again, there were no celebrities at the event at what was the last WrestleMania of the new generation. The big sell that night was Psycho Sid defending his WWF Championship against The Undertaker. At the time, it was leading to Shawn Michaels in a rematch with Bret Hart, but his supposed injury changed the main event. The main event is followed by one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history, a no DQ submission match between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Unfortunately, the event was lackluster, the main event a disaster, though some would argue the Attitude Era started here with the double turn. We attempt to provide an alternate card for a more enjoyable experience. The free-for-all would be the Sultan beating Flash Funk. Rocky Maivia, C. versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. This would be the opening to the show, as Hunter would get a rematch for the title instead of having it at In Your House, and wins it back with the pedigree. Rocky's championship run was a dud from the start. The Nation of Domination, Crush, Savio Vega, D'Lo Brown, Wolfie D, J.C. Ice, Bart Gunn, Aldo Montoya, and Alex Porto, versus the Headbangers, the Godwins, the New Blackjacks, Furnace and Laugh-In in a Chicago street fight. We would increase the size of the Nation here, and although Farooq is the leader of the Nation, he isn't in the match. 4 babyface tag teams unite against the Rise of the Nation stable, and start an all-out war prior to WrestleMania. The street fight happens in and out of the ring till the Nation triumphs in the end, with Bart Gunn landing a tornado DDT on Furnace for the win. Mankind vs. Vader in a singles match. Despite both are managed by Paul Bearer, the two wouldn't get along at all, leading to the feud between these heels who want to prove to Paul that they are worthy. Vader pummels Mankind, making him bleed. However, the mandible claw was enough to bring the big man down for the win. Ken Shamrock vs. Goldust in a singles match. The world's most dangerous man would get his debut at WrestleMania, taking on Goldust, who we would keep as a heel and had started playing mind games on the new star. Goldust would carry Ken in his first match only to lose by submission. Ahmed Johnson vs. Farooq in a no DQ match with a no outside interference stipulation. To finish this long feud once and for all, the stipulation states that no one can interfere in the match or they would be fired. Farooq defeats Johnson after choking him out with a chain and the pinfall. Farooq gets on the mic and asks Johnson, who awakens, to submit and join the Nation of Domination. Johnson doesn't respond and is taken to the back by officials. The Undertaker vs. Psycho Sid in a casket match. The two start to feud after Sid costs The Undertaker the WWF title at In Your House, as Sid was furious he wasn't in the fatal 4-way match and decided to interfere. Taker gets in the tombstone and rolls over Sid into the casket to win the match. Owen Hart and British Bulldog, C. versus the Legion of Doom for the WWF Tag Team Championships. The Legion of Doom makes a surprise return to the WWF in February and took down most of the tag teams to get a shot at the tag titles. Hawk and Animal managed to win the match by countout after brawling with Owen and Bulldog on the outside, who still retain the titles. Bret the Hitman Hart, C. versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a no DQ submission match for the WWF Championship with special guest referee Shawn Michaels. We would have Shawn as the referee here instead of Shamrock. Bret Hart thought he won the Royal Rumble, but Austin throws him over and is declared the winner. We would continue this storyline with Bret winning the WWF Championship at In Your House Final 4 and keeping it till WrestleMania. The match goes exactly as it does, with Austin fainting due to blood loss during the sharpshooter, and we get the double turn. Bret walks out with the WWF title to much heat. Even though he shoves Shawn aside, Shawn tries for a superkick only for Bret to jump to the outside like a coward. Austin gets up to much respect and walks to the back all bloody as the night ends with Jim Ross shouting that Austin never gave up. Aftermath. Austin cuts a promo that he never submitted and wants a rematch for the title. Instead, Bret refuses to give him a shot, saying he's done with Austin and challenges Taker at the next In Your House. This enrages Austin, who blames the WWF for not giving him another chance, and costing Bret the title, with The Undertaker becoming WWF Champion again. What did you think of this card? Stay tuned for WrestleMania 14. Comment, like, subscribe, and thank you for watching In the Plot.